Hello, welcome back to Cam's Tech Talk. We are going to discuss something special today about superheroes, who are the core members of each Salesforce project. I would say any software development project, any project. Let's take that way. Right, we're going to discuss something special today for them. And I call this session is Dynamic Duo. And a bit of background is the reason was I got many questions and discussing with people, they want to know the job about the business analyst and the developers. How do they work? What do they do? What's their relationships like? I haven't created anything like a project journey or something, but I have tried to convince the people basically what do they do in their daily project life cycle, right? And I'm not going to discuss project delivery life cycle, but we're pretty much going to discuss what is their relationship like in the each step or milestone within the project. Okay, so before I dive into, let's see my quick introduction. And Cam, founder of Cam's Tech Talk, and all of my social medias are available from KSM1313 Live. Get in touch, any question, post a message on LinkedIn or on Instagram. I will get back to you. Please guide anything like any topic you want to cover it. I'm happy to cover it with you guys. All right, so let's dive into something, the power of partnership, how the Salesforce BAs and developers, they deliver the success. So what we're going to cover, again, I'm going to bit of repeat, I understand. So we're diving into how business analysts and developers can become the ultimate power pair to deliver project success with a little humor, a lot of insight, and a real world experience. I am going to call this a celebration of collaboration because look, I'm going to show you the life cycle, but this is just for our knowledge. Basically, there is a life cycle, but this is from brainstorming to the build, from sticky notes to user story to apex or validations or backend or sandbox. We're going to talk about many things. We will explore how BAs and devs, when united, transform chaos into a working solution. And yes, there will be some fun, there will be some laugh, you will hear me laughing, but I will see your laugh via the comments. So let me know if you want to see more any particular topic between this relationship. So back to these superheroes are ready. Let's see how the team get together will happen, and we'll take it from there. So here we comes. As we know, it all starts from a handshake. Okay, it's the beginning of any great project. When BA meets a dev, it usually starts with team meeting, Teams channel, or Google Meet, or a roundtable discussion. So any kind of environment where they introduce themselves and talk about. Normally the project manager is there as well, but yeah, but we're not talking about anything here, right? So what VA does, they bring vision, the developers bring technical lens, and they begin shaping what's possible. And how can I forget about the coffee mug in the hand, right? But anyway, superheroes are ready. Project X, we're going to talk about it. And now time to set the stage. So when we're ready to set the stage, my table is ready, and we're going to talk about what's in the battlefield. We're going to draw things, right? So draw things means we're in the battlefield. We're going to talk about what the metrics are. What are the clear metrics basically, and devs, they identify the technical boundaries. So every hero needs to understand the battlefield. BAs define what success looks like. Maybe it's reporting and it might taking 10 minutes, but BA say, can we do it in 2 minutes? There are many examples I like that in the project basically. And again, at this stage, only BA's team and the developer team, they are talking. They are setting some boundaries between them before we go and meet the client. How the things, how my checklist, how the goals, before we get into a shaping, they're talking. Okay, together they align early, reducing surprises down the road, and that's the key. So be ready, and obviously you're gonna love this picture at the next one. Ta-da! And obviously list of goals, list of tech limits. It's ready, and now the time for brainstorming after this. And obviously brainstorming, there we need a client where their input is very much required. And obviously, when the brainstorming bonanza happened, you need whiteboard, you need wireframe, you need wild ideas, right? You can see on the board there are a lot of sticky notes. But keep in mind, at the end of this, you do need a cameraman. So basically, each developer, each business analyst, they're clicking pictures basically. Oh God, this is what we discussed today. There might be, we rub the whiteboard 5 times in a day and then keep clicking pictures to see what's going to happen, right? So there will be so much creativity of different flows. We scribble around all the user stories. Client needs this yesterday, client needs this day before. There's so much. So this is where I would call a magic, a mess, a magic and a mess happens. And BA always dream big. So the whiteboarding journey is important, right? And obviously that's why they have to push for the user values. But devs, they respond with grounded solution. Should we use tech or config? Should we use flow or Apex? Shall I write full code? And this is where there are talks, but obviously that back and forth is where the best idea emerge, obviously with lots of screenshots. But sometimes these all sticky notes, they look weird as well. And obviously you will get into a really weird dashboard or the whiteboard. Obviously it's messy, but yes, do we have a choice? And this is how our next step will become. And this is now comes in a tricky part, turning the ideas into actionable specs. So we made a mess, yes, but we made something creative from it. And that's why I'm in a part where ideas we're going to put somewhere in actions. So now BA's time from those sticky notes, they need to write the good user stories. And dev asks targeted questions based on that. What happens if the field is blank? And BA will say, I want to see alert message. Okay. Do you want that alert under the field? Do you want on top of the page? Do you want that alert at the bottom of the page? And these are all closed or targeted questions where they're trying to clarify. It's not a fight, it's a clarification, because they want to make something a reliable solution, and they need to know what is going to happen. And those detailed stories means that developers can read and work on it, right? So what will happen next? Once they know, they convert those user stories into a technical low-level language. But again, we need to understand what's the best stories. And that's all responsibility comes between both of them. So it's like a tango around a flow chart, graceful, but with the occasional toe step, right? But now let's say I'm ready. So BA written the all user stories, and now obviously time to play back. So we need to play back these user stories, and obviously we need to tell how much technical stuff we have to do. Do we have any extra work coming? And this is where something special comes. BA, pray for sign off. Hands closed and ask for it. Hey, like it. So talking to client, explaining what we're going to do step by step, every single thing in a line items, and obviously positive scenario, the client likes it. But devs behind the scene sitting there, one more feature snakes in, it's coming, oh, it's not coming. But again, in their mind, something is coming. I don't think we're going to limit this. But again, joke apart. And then once they got the sign off, breathing, no more features. But yeah, it will go to version 2. We'll talk about version 2 later. And then time for them tango dancing around the flowchart again. And that's why they dance. And then obviously, once they get to this level, what will happen is get ready with your gadgets. Now, what do we need? We have everything now. Get ready. BA loves their templates. So both sides have their weapons of choice, and BAs love their templates. They love their diagrams. They love the feedback. And on the other side, developer loves the VS Code. They love the debug logs. They love the sandboxes. They love the logs. And think about it. They want many environments where they can test before they go and deploy to anybody. So I can understand the tools are different, but think about the goal is shared. Deliver something that works and that works well. And that's the aim. And that's the purpose of these tools. And that's the purpose of BAs. Why do they like a template? Because it has a standard approach. Okay, so there's something funny in the next one. So you can see here, Bob the Builder. It's like in UK we have very famous the Bob the Builder with the tool, but now here we have business analyst and the developers. It's a toolkit for them. But anyway, so I would love to see comments on this if you can, but definitely we'll look into it. So code meets critic, the feedback loop. This is something we're going to stuck into the cycle. So development isn't a one and done. So dev build features and BA test. They test and they test. They keep testing, but the bugs are keep coming. Bugs are fixed, and the cycle repeats. Often with obviously strong coffee involved. Yes, I do need coffee. I do need strong drinks, something to get this resolved. But this loop is what polishes rough ideas into reliable feature. So these 1, 2, 3, 4. So where we build feature, we refine solutions, test thoroughly, repeat process is actually a complete life cycle for each testing and fixing the bugs. We need this cycle where we can, so that we can work. But then, yes, be careful. There will be a surprise for both of them. And this is where arguments happen, but we don't want those arguments. BAs, because they have to think about a vision, right? So they have a vision. They need to think about what client is asking. We need to deliver something that way. Okay. So now let's talk something when this happens, when the bumps happen, when the unexpected things happen, when the surprises happen. So obviously not every day is smooth sailing. So client changes the priority. They bring something and APIs may be misbehaving. Priority shift. What will happen then? So BA manages the client expectations at that time. They're telling developers, okay, how much we can deliver. It's a relationship. They're talking. And obviously, so what matter is resilience. Together, they roll with the punches and keep delivering. So now here we have to deliver. Definitely, developers always have a plan B, and they can provide that plan B to BAs. All right, if we can't do this way, let's try it this way. We need then BA. They work closely with the client. Okay, surprise happened, but we have a workaround. Do not go with the approach that I can't do it. Never ever go to client. Unfortunately, I can't do it. No. There is a way. There are two different ways. So there is a limit. I want to do this way. And that's what BA's approach. And they're giving full front-end support to the developer so that developer can deliver in a confidence. So that's how we manage bumps and some unexpected issues or something comes up. Okay, very critical. So once we all this, showtime happened, nailing the client presentation, right? Obviously, everything starts from the presentation. Here we go. We have a presentation day. Hands up, everyone. Let's do it. So devs, they are triple checking backend stability. That's what they love to do that. That's what their responsibility is. They have to, because BA or functional, they're going to present what we just created, a different level of application or something they like it. And BAs reshare the story that connects tech to the value. The demo goes live, everything works, and both teams handle Q&A like a well-oiled machine. Right. So yes, so what they're telling the story. So here is very critical thing. You can't just show that we created this form. No, every single form that we created has a user story, and they have to match the user story, what client required, what client has asked. So as soon as you open something, we have to present the way. The reason I'm putting first name and last name here, because it's required in this way, and email is there and it's mandatory field. Because there was a reason, right? And this was the requirement from the client, why I need. So make a story. We will talk about the use cases in a different video, but story is important when you demo, when you showcase to client. It's important. All right. But again, that shared win, it's priceless. Hey. Now, what happened after that? Once we finish the demo and client is happy, and here is something what we have seen, lesson learned. What happened? All time we went through different stages where it was technical solution involved, brainstorming involved, and rewriting the user stories involved, and maybe you have seen bumps and surprises. Now, lesson learned. What did we learn from here? Right? That's very important. Fine. So after deployment comes reflection. Adoption went 30%. Ideas for version 2 already flying because it's important. So lesson learned, it's a list. Now the vision, the version is very important as well, because what we miss, we can deliver in the next version. And that's very important. Track everything. That's where the BA is tracking everything. But the stories, they already reviewing it. The developers already working on it. How many things already possible? All right. Then obviously team celebration, because we did deliver. Hey, let's have a pizza together. And I have a group picture as well with everybody. So together they turned the chaos into a deployed solution. Well done to both of them. And then the last and the best thing is BA and developers, they're better together. At the heart of every successful project is this partnership. The BAs and devs combining people skills with tech genius, process mastery with problem solving. So here we go. I hope you like it, and it defines a journey, a relationship of every single project. And that's how they work together and make it happen. Thank you everyone watching this, but definitely I'm looking for comments, questions. Let me know if you want to see more, something specific on the business analyst side or from the developer side. We'll definitely have a look into it. And thank you so much for now. Appreciate it. Goodbye. Bye-bye.